Meow. Everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everyone, Cantonese Cat here. I spent quite some time the other day talking about IWM, talking about Russell 2000, talking about small cap stocks. If you think that small cap stocks are going to do well, you know what probably would end up also doing very well is going to be ARKG, which is Cathie Wood's genomic fund. Pretty much all the stocks on here are small cap stocks, and if IWM is going to do well, all these are, basically you're basically suggesting there's going to be a lot of risk on sentiment going on. These are also going to do pretty well as well. Right now, price has just been consolidating sideways for about 2 years. I'm showing you here is the monthly chart for ARKG. What you're seeing here is the Ichimoku cloud, which gives you the cloud itself, which can serve as resistance or support. Then it can also give you two lines. One is the Tenkan line, which is labeled in red over here, which is a leading line. The other one is the Kijun line, which is the blue line labeled over here, which is the lagging line. Now, usually if you have a leading line that is starting to form a base, and you have the lagging line that looks like it could be coming over the next few months or so that could cross the leading line. When leading cross against the lagging to the upside, and usually have a bullish cross, it tells you that the trend is getting a little bit more bullish. It looks like there is a potential of this happening sometime soon. And on top of that, you can see that throughout 2021 all the way up to now, the red line over here had flipped from being support up here to breaking down and then back test as resistance. And since then, price just plummeted for about a year or so before it starts to try to back test it as resistance again. Failed to break above of it in February. Price went back a little bit further, back tested again around May. Broke above of it a little bit, back tested, failed to hold. And right now, price has just been oscillating around the Tenkan line here. The longer price kind of oscillates around here, I actually feel the better because you're basically buying time for the Kijun to kind of come down. And I do see that it does seem like it wants to get back above. The reason why I say that is because these are the buying pressures over here, and these are the selling pressures over here. It does seem like buying pressure so far seems to be greater than selling pressure. And I think that the Tenkan also does look like it's almost done staircasing down. It almost looks like it's about to form a base, and it could be going up soon. I'll show another indicator that tells you why I think that is, which is the Bollinger Band with a 20-month moving average. But so far, I like this trend. Again, there's no guarantee. Could it end up failing and go back down to test some of the range down here again? It's always plausible, but so far I'm seeing more of like a bull flag that's forming from with the pole being here and the flag being here. So far I'm seeing a little bit of a bull flag. Another thing that tells me it's a bull flag because volume is decreasing. It's just been consolidating sideways. If it's a bull flag, then the primary trend seems to be up right now. Then it could go up. And that's what the probability is telling me. Now, if you look and see what the whales are doing in terms of inflow or outflow, if you pull up the Black Cat's L3 Banker Fund Flow indicator, you can see that the whales are buying. Sideways price action here, whales are coming in, swooping the shares. This tells me that there is a lot more positive energy that's being built up here, and that makes perfect sense for this to be a bull flag for a potential bullish continuation. If it ends up having bullish continuation, you're going to get the bullish cross eventually. And the next target, you can talk about the top of this range right around here. I can put up some of the volume shelf here that can also give you a little bit of a better idea. Anchor volume profile on the fourth tab down here, and you just basically select a candle that has all the price action that you want to look at. The top of the range is right around like 38, 39, somewhere around here. So I can see it finding a little bit of resistance here, back test 33 area before going up and test the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud up here. But so far there are some pretty promising things that I'm seeing. They're starting to transpire. I do think that this build up of energy here is probably going to push us above the this volume shelf here probably get up to around like 35 or so, and you might end up back testing it even up higher to like 38 or so. You might end up back testing some of the support levels down here before this bullish continuation go up. But there are a lot of energy that's being built up, and I'm seeing things here that are a little bit more promising to me. The other thing I also want to show you is if you put up the Bollinger Bands, you can see that it gives you the 20-month moving average. Right now, price just been touching the 20-month moving average. The price has still spent a significant amount of time at the lower part of the Bollinger Band. So technically, there's no confirmation for bottom based on Bollinger Band analysis, but the 20-month moving average is starting to flatten. It went from very, very much parabolically down to being decelerated over here. It serves as resistance over here. It still serves as resistance down here, but it starts to decelerating and looks like it's starting to flatten out over here. So this is a pretty promising trend change that could be coming. Just like over here, you can still see that you have like a little bit of a deceleration of the uptrend here, and it starts to like kind of roll over up here. I think we might be getting a very, very similar look that we're getting down here. Last time when the similar look that we see down here where you have a downtrend that's decelerating, over here it kind of have a very similar look as you do over here, and all it takes is just a couple of candles for the trend to reverse. I think we might be getting a little bit close to that based on what I'm seeing. The Bollinger Band is kind of a little bit squeezing here. The trend seems to maybe change a little bit, so there could be a trend change that's coming soon. And if I have to guess based on what I see on the greater market, based on what I see with Bitcoin, based on what I see with global liquidity, based on what I'm seeing with potential trend change here, it does look potentially pretty promising for the for ARKG fund to go up from here based on everything that I'm showing you so far. Now, these are the monthlies that I'm showing. Let's look at the weeklies here to see whether or not some of these things that I'm seeing could potentially transpire here. If you look at the weekly chart, if you look at the Ichimoku cloud, you can see that price has spent a very, very long time below the Ichimoku cloud. You're talking about 3 years or so. Is try to break above back here around July of last year. It has failed to do so back then, and got rejected. When it got rejected, did a back test, and back test passed, if you will, and it went all the way down. As you see a V-shaped recovery from the bottom down here, going back up here, trying to test the cloud again, failed to go past it, got back down here, trying to test again, failed to go past it, got back down here. You can see tries number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 trying to get back into the cloud. Even another one over here, right? So the more it tries to test something, the weaker it gets. You can also see the cloud's also getting a little bit thinner. And really the price just had to kind of go sideways right now to enter the cloud. Right now price is kind of finding a little bit of support here at the weekly Kinjin. It's forming a little bit of like a tweezer bottom over here. So it does seem like it could be a potentially important weekly bottom for it to challenge the cloud again. Now, is it going to pass? Again, you tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times already. Is the 7th time a charm? Is the cloud getting weaker? Are we going to potentially break out of it? And once it breaks out, is it going to be a potentially pretty powerful move? I think so. These are just guesses though, right? There's no guarantee. But one thing I also want to point is that you see that the downtrend that we have over here over the last 4 weeks has been declining in terms of volume. Right now, price is just kind of consolidating, waiting for the next big move. Maybe the next big move is going to end up punching through the cloud and go up further. I certainly think that that's a strong possibility. The other thing to pull up would be the weekly moving averages. They are so far still stacked to the bearish side, but you can see that the 20 is starting to point up. I think if you give another few weeks of price action, even the price continue to just go sideways, I think the 20 is going to pass the 50, and you're going to have a 20-50 bullish cross. The 100 will also serve as resistance for a couple of times here, but I think these three, like 20, 50, and 100 weekly moving averages, are starting to bundle together, and they're starting to give the appearance like they want to cross here to push up further. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I think that you might end up getting a bunch of bullish crosses here on the weekly moving averages relatively soon. and that could end up precipitating a pretty powerful weekly bull trend when that happens, and price could potentially go a lot further because of that. Now, those are just a couple of things that I'm seeing. So far is positive trending in terms of 20-week moving average. Price did try to bounce above it. It did get rejected last week, but because of how positive trending this 20-week moving average is, I don't think it's going to serve as very, very good resistance at all. I think once you're going to end up having a pretty, powerful buying trend, which it does look like the whales are buying based on looking at a monthly chart, I do think that once you have something like that happening, price is going to go up, and you're going to have a pretty nice set of bullish crosses over here, and you might actually end up having a beginning of a more powerful bull trend that could last for quite some time. These are just my personal thoughts, and we'll see whether or not they work out or not, right? We don't know. If you look at the on-balance volume, you can see that there's a little bit of a bullish divergence, price going down here, but the volume is going up here. So that also suggests that whales are kind of playing their games. Maybe they're buying behind the scene. Maybe they're trying to play tricks on us. I don't know, but it certainly doesn't make sense for the price to go down when the buying volume pressure is going up, does it? You can also see a very, very similar thing over here. The price just gone down pretty badly, but the buying volume pressure actually has gone up. So you have a lot of bullish divergence that has been happening. I think they're trying to trick us. I don't know exactly, right? But I'm starting to see some clues here. That's the case. If you look at the RSI, I'm just going to put up the RSI over here. It's not going to show you as much. I'm not really seeing any bullish divergence here. I'm also not really seeing a whole lot of bearish divergence either. And the RSI has just kind of been hovering around the 40s and 50s. This is a pretty decent thing. As you see, the RSI is less than 50, a lot of times you might still end up having a little bit of a downtrend. But if RSI stay more consistently about the high 40s and upper 50s, generally it's more reflective of it being more of a bull trend. So anyway, I just wanted to show you my thoughts on ARKG. I do have a position. I'm still adding to it every week. I've been adding to it every week for years now. So I've been slowly accumulating this whole giant range right out here. We'll see what happens. I'm hopeful that this setup will work out, but we will see. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and what my thoughts are. Hopefully you got something out of it. Have a good one. Bye.